Welcome to your first look. This is the Ironman National, next to last round of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross in 2022, or as we like to call it, the Racer X meetup. It's the Crossroads of America. Jason Weigandt, Kellen Brauer, and our new star really did a good job at Budds Creek, so we're bringing him back for more. Mitchy the Kid Kendra. Why not have the whole staff here? Kellen, this is the closest 450 championship we've ever had at this stage of the game. 2 races to go, 1 point in it. That's unreal.
Well, that's why we have to bring extra staff members. There is so many different storylines to cover just beyond this championship fight, but it is incredible that we've had it get this far into the season, and it still seems like there's not really a clear answer who it is. Like at this point in time, you're like, okay, this guy has the momentum, he's building or whatever, but it just keeps flip-flopping back and forth these last few weeks. So I don't know what the heck's going to happen, but it's fun for us to watch for sure.
And I really thought the question coming out of Unadilla, which Sexton dominated, was, okay, is Budds Creek, is the track going to be enough to change it? So I thought that was the biggest question. But Mitch, here's what turned even crazier at Budds. Other guys got in it. They didn't go 1-2 in both motos. You're seeing how badly Roxon wants to show he still has it, how badly Dungey wants a podium. Jason Anderson's still in it. So now we come into this race saying, oh, maybe they're not even going to go 1-2, 1-2. Other guys can beat them given the right circumstances, which I don't think we thought before Budds.
Yeah, and we've seen Justin Barsha's he's raced well here before in the past. Like you said, Dungey is so close to getting that podium speed. Roxon went 3-3 last weekend on a hot day. Jason Anderson 2-2 for the overall. I think, like you said, just different guys shuffling in and out. It's been really close out front so far.
Yeah. So we have more questions than ever, really, about that 450 class. I don't know. Does this track favor anyone? Sexton has been saying he's not a sand guy. He had to get through those middle sand races. But I don't know, 1 point in it, it's almost like it's down to if you make a mistake, that's going to make a bigger difference in the track. Does it help anybody? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would kind of say that these loamier types of tracks too would favor Tomac, but then, we talked to Sexton today. We'll hear from him in a minute. Yeah. And he said that he likes this one a little bit better almost than Redbud because it's more clay-based, like something that he's more familiar with. Redbud's gotten kind of sandier over the years, so I don't know. It's so wishy-washy. Like, Tomac's been running the scoop tire pretty consistently. I think this is a good track for it. But then Sexton has been really good on these long rutted out tracks, which this is going to turn into tomorrow. So I don't know, man. It's up in the air.
That's what we'd like to see. And good job to you guys. You caught up to Chase Sexton earlier. Let's get his take.
All right, Chase Sexton here at Ironman. Let's go back to last week real quick. How big was it for you to kind of rebound and actually win that second moto after everything that happened in the first one?
Yeah, the first moto was a little bit unfortunate. I hit neutral in that corner, which caused me to go over the bars, and then got into it with actually one of my buddies. He fell in front of me. I ran over him, so I was pretty much not last, but pretty close to it. So I had my work cut out for me. Got back to 7th, which was as good as I can do when I was in that position. And then second moto, I just knew I had to win. I had my back against the wall, and I didn't expect Eli to kind of make any mistakes. So I knew if I wanted a shot at anything, I had to win. So I ended up I fell again, but was able to still get the win in that moto. But yeah, I feel like my riding was okay. I wasn't really gelling with the track all day, but no excuses. I made 2 really bad mistakes, and it cost me. So I'm glad we rebounded, and now I feel like we gained a little bit of momentum back on my side.
Yeah, is it, I guess, like kind of surreal the way this championship has played out, where like the last few weeks you guys have been like a point here, then the big swing in the first moto for you, but then he just backs it up in the second moto where you win and he has a 5th. Like, is it weird how it's yo-yoing that way?
It is a little bit weird. Like neither of us can get away from each other, which is, it's cool, I think, for the fans. It's exciting. 1 point is pretty much nothing at this point. So, yeah, it's going to be a good last 4 motos. I'm excited to be here in Indiana. I love this track. Last year I had COVID here and was miserable, so I'm excited to be healthy this time and able to give it my full effort. So, yeah, it's going to be a good last little push here, but I'm excited.
All right, welcome back to the show, which is brought to you by 60 Helmets, dedicated to the relentless pursuit of brain protection. 60's patented Omni-Directional Suspension technology provides protection capabilities unmatched by any other helmet design. Established in 2011, 60 is the technology leader in both motorcycle and bicycle helmet design. Before we transition over to the 250 class, first of all, we're going to break some news. We had our Twisted Tea Best Post-Race Show last week. Mitch, you were over there. We brought Justin Rodbell over. He was shirtless, literally had no logos, doing his own program as a privateer. We were hoping by bringing him into the show, the team would hire him. And I don't know if that's why, but I'm going to say it is. Rodbell is going to be on the Twisted Tea Hep Suzuki team. We did it.
Yeah, I was like, hey, man, like your home race, you got some points, you've been riding really well. There's a stacked field. I was like, we just got to come over and check out the post-race show. And he was kind of like hesitant, and now we kind of see why, because, yeah, we ended up getting him on the show because he's nervous about getting a fill-in ride over there, and then you plugged it away and made the deal happen. They were building the 5.5 Suzuki over there, so yeah, Justin Rotbell and Suzuki, everyone.
And hopefully he'll actually have a shirt on this weekend because he actually has a deal. 450 class, I know you got some more stats to share on that. I'll let you guys talk 250s. We also had a combine today. We have a very, very, very publicized pro debut. All the young guys moving up, so I'm the old guy. I'm moving out. Kellen and Mitch, you take the rest of the show. Thanks, 16, for the support. Go ahead.
All right, so we do have a lot of stuff to talk about, and we're going to talk about those stats first that Mitch highlighted here in the 450 class. Sexton and Tomac, they've been going back and forth with this, 1-2, 2-1-1, but then last week the 7 and the 5. So what are you talking about with stat-wise, how this is going to set up for these last 4 rounds with these two?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, obviously the 1 point separating them somehow after it was 1 point last weekend, but they just split positions. And like you guys were mentioning, it looked like it was going to be Tomac's way the first moto, and then it was like, wow, Sexton was able to rebound. So we looked up some stats again. Sexton is finishing the first or second, and then he had that 7th place in the first moto there. But he's finished first or second 18 of the 20 motos, which is incredible. So like again, he doesn't have a mistake. He has a 4th place finish. Everything else, no thirds in there. And then also 18 out of the 20 motos, they've won. Tomac and Sexton have combined to win those. 11 moto wins for Tomac, 7 for Sexton. Like I said, they've just been 1-2 punching everybody. But like you said, threw some other guys in there, and Jason Anderson got the overall win. But it's been exciting so far.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to limiting the mistakes in these last few rounds for these two guys, because as we see, if they do have a mistake, there are people there. There are people now behind them where, a few rounds ago they were 45 seconds ahead of everybody. That's not the case anymore, so it's going to be critical this weekend. Both of them stay off the ground. Moving on to this 250 class, though, really it seems like the storyline coming into this weekend is, of course, the professional debut of Hayden Deegan on the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing team, but also Gavin Towers is here for NSA Yamaha, so there's a couple pro debuts to talk about. What do we think about these two guys, Mitch? What are we going to see from them this weekend?
I think Hayden Deegan's just going to bring a lot of attention on him no matter where. There's going to be 10 photographers and video guys on him at all times. The cameras on the TV are going to be looking at him. Fans are going to be cheering. People in the pits are running through. It's just going to be just a lot of eyes on him. And honestly, we're not really sure where to expect, like, where he's going to finish at. He did that Moto Combine a couple weeks ago and was pretty dominant against some fast guys. And I don't know, we could see maybe a whole shot and then lead a couple laps, or he could be in the middle of the pack. I guess everybody says starts to, I've got a bad start and it depends on the race, but really, who knows? He could get a start kind of right up front a little bit, or he could be back fighting for positions. It's tough to say where people are going to finish until we get at least 2 motos into them, and we can at least see some time. So really, we don't know what to expect. But either way, a lot of people are going to be on him. He's going to turn a lot of heads either way.
Well, let's listen to what Hayden Deegan himself has to expect about this weekend for his pro debut. All right, Hayden Deegan, welcome to Pro Motocross. Talk to us a little bit about the last 2 weeks and kind of building up and doing those A races for the first time and getting your feet wet in those, and then bam, right into this pro scene.
Yeah, so basically we raced 250B at Loretta's, and from there we need to go get our pro points. So we went to Unadilla and Budds Creek, got our pro points, and now we're here. We've done a lot of training, a lot of work with the guys, so I'm super excited.
How do you feel like this weekend's going to go for you? Are you just trying to kind of feel things out a little bit? Do you have an expectation you're putting on yourself?
I don't really have any expectations. I know where I fit in at the training facility when we're all riding, but really it's a learning curve for me to come out here, see the pace, and just have fun, get used to it.
Yeah. Have you ridden this track before, or is this a new ball game to you as well?
Yeah, I've never ridden this track. I've watched many videos that study the track and try to get as much learning as I can before I came here.
Right. Obviously, this is a long process building to this point. Now that you actually are here, though, how kind of cool or does it feel to actually be a pro?
Yeah, it's super exciting. I can't wait. I walk around all the pits and stuff, and you look at the guys, and you're like, I watched this kid as a kid, and I'm racing him now. Right. So it's going to be super exciting and fun, and I hope it goes well.
You obviously did the Combine earlier this year, so you have a little bit of a feel of these longer motos, but how do you kind of feel once you get to that 25-minute mark? Is it going to be a little bit tough to find that extra 5 minutes for you think?
I'm definitely going to say it's not going to be easy because it's going to be a really high pace up there. And 35 minutes at a super high pace is not going to be no easy task. So it's definitely going to have to learn to adapt to that and see how it is here at my first race. But when we do motos at the farm, I fit in good. So hopefully I can bring that over here.
Is it just this one this weekend, or are you doing Paula as well?
As of now, it's just this weekend. Okay. So right now we're focused on this weekend, and let's just see how we do. All
right. Well, good luck, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we got Gavin Towers here, going to make a pro debut tomorrow. Talk a bit about the excitement and everything leading into this weekend.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. Every other kid dreams of this, so super pumped. I raced here at the Moto Combine last year, so it's nice to come to a familiar track. Already have raced here. Similar that there, obviously it's going to be completely different. Everybody knows that Pro Nationals are prepped completely different, and they run up completely different. So Yeah, I'm super excited. My last week of training down with the Star guys, it was really good. My last day was definitely probably my best since Loretta's. Kind of was just fighting a little bit of sickness leading after Loretta's, and just finally got over that, and feeling 100%. So we're ready to send it tomorrow.
Let's say obviously you had that first moto win at Loretta's, right? That was the first time you ever won there, and then so obviously coming off a strong Loretta showing, and like you said, strong week of training. Just I guess where expectations wise this weekend, or just kind of go out there and learn from it, or what? I guess what would you be satisfied with leaving this weekend?
I just want to go out there and do my best. Like I know there's probably more pressure leading into Loretta's. There's probably way more than now. Like I obviously want to go and prove myself and do my best I can, but I'm just trying to not put as much pressure on myself. Loretta's was good, so just going to try to carry some of that momentum from the early part of the week, because the last part of the week wasn't the best. But so just use some of that and just ride like I know how, and just where it puts me is where it's going to put me. I mean, just want to. I know my qualifying, they're not always the best, so we just got to not let that discourage me too much, and then just take it into the motos, and you'll have some fun, really.
All right, so we'll see how those two guys do this weekend. Of course, Hayden Deegan, I think, is going to bring a lot of fans here, so that's going to be exciting to see. But we do have a championship that could be clinched this weekend. Jet Lawrence coming into this round 37 points up on the new second place man in the championship, Joe Shimoda. Shimoda winning the second moto last week, but RJ Hampshire winning the overall. Jet actually hasn't won a moto in a long time either, and Hampshire has been working his way up now into the fray with an overall win. Is this going to go Jet's way this weekend where he could actually clinch this overall, Mitch, or do you think we're going to see some more fresh faces at the front?
He rode really well here last year, and so it's kind of, again, he can clinch. It's going to be, he has to have a lot of things go his way between Justin Cooper, Shimoda, and his brother Hunter. So we might see this come down next weekend, but like I said, there's still a chance. Like if he goes out 1-1, people run into bad luck, bike issues, crashes, we could see a Jet clinch the championship today. But like you said, there's guys like Hampshire. He's the 7th guy to win a moto this year, but only 3rd to win an overall. And then Levi Kitchen's coming back. He won a moto before. Michael Mosman, he was up there a little bit last week, kind of had some mistakes, but he's won a moto before. So maybe him, like I said, Hampshire's really riding really well, and they've got some things they're working on with the bike. He sounds more comfortable with it. So like I said, throw those guys in the mix. Guillaume Ferrez, the younger guy from Star, maybe throw him in there. He's a top 5 guy last week. A really impressive ride. Like I said, Hampshire, Mosman, just a lot of guys that could battle in there. Maybe we see Gavin Towers, Hayden Deegan, some of these younger guys, Ryder D even. A lot of guys really could be up in there. We really don't know. It's pretty much been like the battle from like 3rd, maybe 4th through 10th the last 2 weeks has literally just flip-flopped every couple laps. And then second moto, completely different guys. Nate Thrasher, Nick Ramon is going to be out this weekend still, but yeah, there's a lot of young guys that can get up there and fight for podium positions even, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many storylines here this weekend at Ironman, from championship clinching scenarios, two 450 guys battling for that championship lead, and of course debutants in that 250 class, and then the Moto Combine. We're about to have 250 Moto 2 go off behind us in the Combine class, so it is chaos here at Ironman, and we're ready to see what happens here tomorrow at Ironman Raceway.